I'm here with NAF after a big win to get through to 3-0. You had to grind that one out. Tell me a bit about that series against Complexity.
We started off with Inferno. We're very confident on Inferno. Even during our Pro League run, we were winning like a lot of our games, most of our games on Inferno. So we're very confident on the map. It was our pick. Overall we started off I think they won Pistol and they started off a little strong, but then we won like 10 rounds in a row. So we started to kind of like feel the game, and we're just pumped. We're hitting every shot. We're playing the game that we wanted to play, and it all worked out in the end for us on Inferno. And then coming to Overpass, we started off like a little slow on some of the CT rounds. Floppy was winning a lot of key clutches for them, and we were able to kind of like salvage the half a little bit. I think it was 8-7 or 7-8 or something like that. And then on T side we were up like 14-8 or something, 14-9, I don't know. And then we just kept losing clutches and a lot of these stupid rounds, and it was just a bunch of just small mistakes that were just biting us in the ass, and they were able to come back and win, especially from a huge game from Floppy. He was able to just, I think he had almost over 30 kills or something like that, so he was popping off. And then on Ancient, we knew that we had to start T-side Ancient, so we knew that there's a chance it could be pretty tough. I remember, I think we were down like 6-1 or something like that, and then we were able to string like a comeback of rounds coming back, so we ended at like 8-6 or 8-7, 9-6 or something like that. So once going on to the CT side Ancient is very tough. But I've seen at this event, even in our past games, some teams are able to get some rounds on T side, so I was a little afraid that the meta's shifting or something like that. But CT side is a very strong side, and we're very confident. We're able to win Pistol flawlessly, and we didn't get ecoed, and we're able to just close it out and just run with it until the very end.
So now that you've closed out and that you're 3-0, you make it to the major. With that major being in Rio and such passionate fans there, tell me what excites you about going over to Rio for that major?
I mean, it's always amazing. Like the Brazilian crowd is like a completely different level of like atmosphere that they bring, and it's so awesome that it's in the group stage has a crowd as well. So that's like super awesome to know that every player attending there will be able to witness the crowd and hear the crowd, feel what the crowd is feeling, and all that. And I've had past experience going to Brazil. I've had past Brazilians on my team in Brazil, so they're cheering for us, cheering for me, as hopefully I'm a little bit of an honorary Brazilian. Hopefully they can still cheer for us and Liquid and myself. I'm super pumped. I can't wait to go back to Brazil. It's always, just like I said, it's a unique experience when it comes to playing in an arena in Brazil. So I can't wait.
We talked to OC yesterday a bit about the way that you guys have been coming back into games and the mentality that you've been holding to like claw your way all the way back. Tell me a bit about that from your perspective, like the mentality on the team at the moment.
It got a little rocky on Overpass when we're losing so many clutches, but overall I think that's like a big thing that we've always been working on in Liquid for like a long time, because I feel like the biggest issues on Liquid were always mentality. And I think with YEKINDAR coming in, he also helps that a lot. I think some people don't really notice that, but he always tries to find the words and the things to say to like help us and get back into the game. And we all know that we just need to stay in it no matter what happens. And even today, like we're losing clutches on a lot of rounds. We're down 6-1 on third map, thinking, oh my god, we might lose this actually, when we literally just dropped the ball on Overpass. So we're able to stay in it, stick in it, and we're able to just come back. And at the end of the day, it's also just like even things back in the day when Fallen was said, it's all on your mind, it's all mental. A lot of this game is in your head, and you just need to make sure that you're strong, you're focused, and you're always ready, because it's Counter-Strike, it's round by round.
Evil Geniuses are the team that you're going to face for that spot at the Legends phase. A team that not a lot of people would have expected to be facing against you guys. You guys would have been one of the favourites here. Tell me what you think about that potential matchup, or that matchup now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's, obviously EG is there for a reason. It seems like they've been playing pretty well. I heard that obviously they beat 9Z, obviously that's why they're here. And so I think they're playing really well. I saw Cirque was even playing pretty well in the previous games that I was watching, so it's like nice to see him kind of getting back into form a little bit. Overall they're playing really well, and I think it's an interesting opponent. We have some history playing them in the past, and we're able to get some wins. So, but then again, this is a spot for Legends, so there's a lot on the line. So I think it's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a brawl, and I can't wait to play it.
There's some other teams that are here from NA. We've had Nouns and ATK putting up good performances. ATK are up 2-1 now. Nouns are down in 1-2. Tell me a bit about that, like the lower level teams from NA that have been over here, and like your thoughts on them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't really paid too much attention to those teams. I'm always focusing in Europe and playing like the competition in Europe, but it's super nice to see like some teams performing. Like you said, ATK is currently 2-1, so like that's awesome. That's good to hear for them. And obviously for Nouns, obviously they just got to keep working, keep trying. I think they're a young team and they don't have too much experience, so I've been there. We've all been there. Starting out lands where you might be feeling like you're just getting bashed all the time. But that's just part of the process in Counter-Strike. So I just got to give props to them. They just got to keep working hard, and you never know what they can come up with. So I know, props to them.
Yeah. Like you said there, you've been kind of focusing on Europe. One of those teams over in Europe that just qualified today for the major is FaZe, former teammate Twist on that team. With the way that they've not kind of like fallen off, but the way that they haven't been hitting that insane level that we've seen from them at the previous major, and Navi, like you guys had Vitality in the final of EPL. With the way that things are going and the current top tier of EU and NA, tell me about how open you think this major has the potential to be.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a pretty wide open major. I think you can't really tell like who the clear favorite's going to be. Like, yeah, no, I mean, we played Vitality in the final. They're playing good. They're starting to find their stride, kind of like how to play and all that, and they're playing well together. Navi is kind of taking like a little bit of hit, and I think FaZe and Navi are getting like a little fatigued with like a lot of the events and like always trying to stay on top, because I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is when I was back on Liquid in 2019, like when we were playing in 2019, it was the hardest thing, in my opinion, wasn't reaching the top, it was staying on top. And overall, just playing these events, going into event to an event, and if you have such a packed schedule, it's hard to update your playbook. It could be mentally draining because you're missing something from home, maybe family or something, obligations that you have to deal with over there. And yeah, it can just be draining, and it'll just be really hard to stay on top. So I can understand where FaZe is and maybe where Navi is, but yeah, right now I know Vitality, even ourselves, are kind of like hitting our stride a little bit more on like kind of being consistent on top. But yeah, then again, really, it's really wide open. I can't even imagine like who will win it. Hopefully us.
All right, thanks for your time, man.
Thank you.